mean, I think I probably thought, I hope the show is a success. I hope we all did a good job. I hope we told important stories. And I think, the same sort of holds true now. I think that, we still want to do a good job. We still want to tell important stories. And we still want to touch people. But I think at the end of the day, what's fun about doing Grays and keeping going every day is just seeing the crew. They're so happy and they love what they do.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be cool. I mean, I've enjoyed, I think the last episode, we just shot our last scene last night. I loved it. It was one of the best scenes of the season, so you got a lot to look forward to. I think you're going to feel what you want to feel when you watch television, specifically network television. You want all the highs and lows of what that brings, and that's hard to do these days. I think that's why this show's lasted this long.
Once I watched the first episode, I was like, this show is special. It was like, that pilot was like magic. I think the one thing that maybe you wouldn't expect to feel, of course you're going to feel sadness, I can promise you that. You're going to feel, you might want to pull the people that you love a little closer. But then the thing that I really think is worth talking about is the fact that there's some shock. I genuinely was surprised when I read multiple storylines that are in this episode, so shock may be the number one emotion.
I love every single day that I've been here since the beginning, since I was here for the 300th episode too, so it's almost been, it's been 100 now, so it's been a great job. When I booked it, I watched all 400 episodes on Netflix. I've seen them twice, all the way through. I'm obsessed. I don't even know if it's going to happen again for any show, especially a network show. I mean, 400 is huge.
I would say it'll feel like the rug is pulled out. I think you'll feel a little unsteady. One of the great things last season, the first time I wore anything other than scrubs and sneakers for the entire season was the final episode where Maggie got married twice. And I was in Christian Louboutins and I was like, what is happening? I could barely walk. I didn't know what to do with myself. But yeah, let me tell you, it's not a bad gig to wear scrubs and sneakers all day long.
I can confidently say that the storylines that you'll see taking everyone into the season finale, the only way I can say it is we're going to break America's heart. And can I say that? So, sadness, but also I think a little bit of joy too.
If there's anything that someone can say about Grey's Anatomy, it's that it's hilarious.
It's humorous.
Well, it kind of is. When they've got the bleep, bloop, bloop. There's everything. We've got a 360 emotions.
I would be very, very excited to watch if I was a fan of the show. Is that a good answer?
I can't put a number on how many people, especially young people, have come up to me and said, because of your show, I'm now in the medical profession. I've become a doctor. I'm in med school. I can't count how many. I had a gentleman who was recovering. And my character's journey and recovery resonated with him. And I remember him stopping me and saying, because of you, I've been able to continue this journey. So thank you. So those are things that mean a lot.
It's not that I'm not nice. It's that I'm very specific and I'm very particular. I have very high expectations of the residency staff and the residency program at Grey. So, you got to watch and see what Jamara Blake does next.
One of my favorite things about it is that there's a situation that the hospital has to deal with that's very specific to our hospital, but also is happening in hospitals all across this country that affects every single one of us. But we don't think about it until you actually have to go to the hospital. So it's one of those things, again, it's one of those things where it makes you, Grey's Anatomy makes you feel all the feels, but also gives you something to think about and walk away with, and maybe some marching orders. Maybe there's something you can do at home.
Because I love the story of starting and finishing a thing, right? This was only supposed to last like 2 seasons, 3 seasons or whatever. I'm still saying, well, it can't be that much longer. It can't be that much longer. So now I'm just determined to be there at the very end. And then what happens after that is going to take care of itself. People would ask me like about Broadway, do you miss Broadway? You want to go back? And I'm like, I know it's not going anywhere. So hopefully when, this has run its course and it's time to do the next thing, then I'll jump and give that everything that I have as well. So I don't feel like I'm missing anything because I just couldn't have dreamed anything like what I have.
I remember it because I was taking the bus home. I didn't have a car in Los Angeles yet, and I would take it home and hope that I wasn't missing it. There was no like DVR situation. Yes, I was all about Meredith and McDreamy and the love triangle, the whole thing. Yes, I remember the first episode. For my storyline, there's a lot of tears with some of the patients that we're working with. So yes, Kleenex, wine, tequila, the whole thing.
Grey's Anatomy is like an old friend, and every so often when I just want to hang out with my old friends, I watch old episodes. So I don't know if I have a favorite. There's definitely moments that I love, but some of them are tragic, but they like get into your psyche. So I feel very, very lucky to be a part of this show. I think I joined at the tail end of season 16, so to be here at the 400th episode, I'm like, how did I get so lucky to be here? The timing really just worked out, yeah.
The reason I think Grey's Anatomy is able to go on is because we talk to people about things that are phenomenons that need to be addressed in the world, and this is definitely one of them. It's beautifully complicated, and I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Will I laugh? Will I cry? Will I scream?
Hopefully all of the above. I think it's a personal experience. It depends on what you've been through in your life, but I cried during the whole table read, so